Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Manabhartiyam channel. Hope everybody is doing well. So this channel has been there since a couple of years now. We are doing a lot of repetitive content from my other channels and all. But now that I deleted all the content from my previous whatever videos were there are deleted now. Now it is this channel's sole purpose. I have decided to make it more focused content on the ists and isms. Basically, Vishwa Pragna, there is another channel which is running in English now, which is owned by Vishwa Pragna Garu. There, as of now, we're reading one novel called Animal Farm. So that is being done chapter wise, chapter wise system. So the issue is we are doing these things in English. We have got Telugu channels. You all know Manavani is there, Manachattam Legal Channel is there. We have got Black Tiger Sanatana owned by Black Tiger Garu. Then we have animals. So the Visha Pragna started by Visha Garu a couple of weeks back. So what we are more focusing on the various ists and isms. There it is more of an ist perspective which is going on in one novel called Animal Farm in Visha Pragna channel. This channel I have decided to convert it to an ism kind of a channel where we will discuss various forms of isms and what is going on actually. Yeah, like everything, there's pros and cons in every particular thing, but let us see how far we will go. So, who are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe along with Manavahini and Vishwapragna. You know these channels anyway, but anyway, I'm just reminding. So, having said that, what I have decided to do is today there is a particular novel, basically, uh, uh, it is written by a Bangladeshi person actually called Rokeya Sakhawat Hossain, and then it is translated. I believe it is written in Bengali at that time. Then it is edited and translated by Roshan Jahan at that time. Anyway, so this book is from the Feminist Press at the City University of New York. So you can understand the press itself says it is feminist. So you know what content will be there. But what I have found interesting in this book is in this particular book called Sultana's Dream, you have got various chapters. But this is more focused towards the Muslim Parda system at that time, where you have various kinds of things. You have got Sultana's Dream, Parda Reverse Sultana's Dream, and then Parda Observe, the secluded ones, and also. And here we will have also have an introduction of Rokia by Roshan Jahan. So this is the glossary of this particular book. So anybody who is interested to join can join, but I would like to give the link a little later. What I will do is I'll slowly start reading, and then I'll give you the link so that people can also participate. This is but today. Later on, we'll decide how to do it. In the preface, what we see how it is written, we look at the parda, the seclusion and segregation of women through three pairs of eyes. Those of an early 20th century Muslim writer who saw the parda from the inside and campaigned against it most of her life. Those modern Bangladeshi literary scholars, see, what we should understand is when this book was written to South India, then after this became West East Pakistan and then Bangladesh. So basically, as of today, if you look at it, it's a Bangladeshi literary scholar and a feminist activist of those days. Right. So let us understand who this writer is. The writer is Rokeya Sakhawat Hossain. Right. Her ideas are said to be important because of her short stories, which is one is Sultana's Dream. It is a feminist utopia, it seems, and let us see how it goes. Enough of this particular interesting. So, I'll do one thing. Let us give the link first. Let people come and join. There is no issue. People have been joining with me since quite some time now. Let me put it in the comments. I believe Vatsalya is there. Hi, Vatsalya. And then SK Garu. Hello. I believe SK Garu is busy today, so she might not join. Let us see if she can. So, anybody wants to join, I have given the link in the comments. Please do join. Please participate. If you want to read this book, let me know. I'll give you this book to you also. So, anybody who wants to read can read. I'm fine. So let us go. It is mostly in English. That's the reason I'm conversing in English. That's the most, no, my comfortable language would be Telugu. I'm not well versed with English, so whatever little I can speak, I am speaking. Right. Let us see the chronology. This particular writer, Rokeya, is born in the village of Pairabat. It happened in 1880. Thereafter, in 1896, she was married to Khan Bahadur Sayyid Sakhawat Hossain, and he was the deputy magistrate of Bengal Civil Service, and he was in Bhagalpur, Bihar. Right. She wrote her first publication in 1903 or 1903 and '04. They were the articles on the oppression of women in various journals in Calcutta. Then 1909, death of Khan Bahadur, her husband Khan Bahadur Sayyid Shakawat Hossain in Calcutta on May 3rd of 1909, and Rokeya establishes the Sakhawat Memorial Girls High School in Bhagalpur. 1910, Rokeya leaves Bhagalpur and settles in Calcutta. In 1911, Rokeya reopens the Sakhawat Memorial Girls School in Calcutta on March 16th. In 1916, she founds the Anjuman-e Khawatine Islam Bangla. So that is the Bengali Muslim Women's Association, it seems. And in 1917, inspection of the Sakhawat Memorial Girls School by Lady Kingsford, the wife of the Governor General and Viceroy of India. So at the time, prominent figures such as the Aga Khan, and then Sir Abdul Rahim, Maulana Muhammad Ali, and others helped the school. In 1926, she presides at the Bengal Women's Education Conference held in Calcutta. In 1931, she addressed the Bengali Muslims on their way to decline given at Sakhawat School. In 1932, Rokeya presides at a session of the Indian Women's Conference held at Aligarh, and she dies on 9th December 1932. She was buried at Sodhpur, Calcutta. So that is okay. So, and condolences meeting and all happens. So this lady in 1932, she is no more since that time. Anybody wants to join can join. Okay, nobody is interested. That's fine with me. Okay, let me go ahead with the book. Sultana's Dream, Further Reversed by Roshan Jahan. Sultana, okay, let me see. Okay, let me get it right. Sultana's Dream by Rokeya Sakhawat Hossain. I'm going into the book actually. One evening, I was lounging in an easy chair in my bedroom and thinking lazily of the condition of Indian womanhood. I'm not sure whether I dozed off or not, but as far as I can remember, I was wide awake. I saw the moonlit sky sparkling with thousands of diamond like stars very distinctly. All of a sudden, a lady stood before me. How she came in, I don't know. I took her for my friend, Sister Sara. Good morning, said Sister Sara. I smiled inwardly and I knew it was the morning but a starry night. However, I replied to her saying, how do you do? I think somebody has come. We have got Shikshatin on board. Hi Shikshati, how are you?
Hello, sir. How are you, sir? I am fine, sir. How are you? How are you doing, sir?
Wonderful. I'm absolutely fine. I just started the reading of this book, Shikshati. Give me a few minutes and then we can
Yeah, sure, sir.
discuss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure, sir.
yeah, thanks. So, I'm all right. Thank you. Will you please come out and have a look at that garden? I looked again at the moon through the open window and thought there was no harm in going out at that time. The men servants outside were fast asleep just then, and I could have a pleasant walk with Sister Sarah. I used to have my walks with Sister Sarah when we were at Darjeeling. Many a time did we walk hand in hand and talk light-heartedly in the botanical gardens there. I fancied Sister Sarah had probably come to take me to some such garden, and I readily accepted her offer and went out with her. When walking, I found to my surprise that it was a fine morning. The town was fully awake and the streets alive with bustling crowds. I was feeling very shy, thinking I was walking in the street in broad daylight, but there was not a single man visible. Some of the passersby made jokes at me. Though I could not understand the language, yet I felt sure they were joking. I asked my friend, "What do they say?" The woman say, "You look very mannish." "Mannish?" said I. "What do they mean by that?" "They mean that you are shy and timid like men." Shy and timid like men? It was really a joke. I became very nervous when I found that my companion was not Sister Sarah but a stranger. Oh, what a fool I have been to mistake this lady for my dear old friend Sarah. She felt my fingers tremble in her hand as we were walking hand in hand. "What's the matter, dear? Dear?" she said affectionately. I felt somewhat awkward. I said in a rather apologizing tone, as being a Pardhanashin woman, I am not accustomed to, walking about unveiled. "You need not be afraid of coming here across a man here. This is a Ladyland, free from sin and harm. Virtue herself reigns here." By and by, I was enjoying the scenery. Really, it was very grand. I mistook a patch of green grass for a velvet cushion, feelings as if I was walking on a soft carpet. I looked down and found the path covered with moss and flowers. "How nice it is," I said. "Do you like it?" asked Sister Sarah. I continued calling her Sister Sarah, but she kept calling me by her name, my name. "Yes, very much, but I do not like to tread on the tender and sweet flowers." "Never mind, dear Sultana, your treading will not harm them. They are street flowers." "The whole place looks like a garden," said I admiringly. "You have arranged every plant so skillfully. Your Calcutta could become a nicer garden than this if only your countrymen wanted to make it so. They would think it is useless to give so much of attention to horticulture while they have so many other things to do. They could not find a better excuse," said she with a smile. I became very curious to know where the men were. I met more than 100 women while walking there, but not a single man. "Where are the men?" I asked her. "In their proper places where they ought to be." "Pray let me know what you mean by their proper places." She said, "Oh, I see my mistake. You cannot know our customs as you were never here before. We shut our men indoors." "Oh, just as we are kept in the Janana." She said, "Exactly so." I said, "How funny." I burst into a laughter. Sister Sarah laughed too. "But dear Sultana, how unfair is it to shut in the harmless women and let loose the men? Why is it not safe for us no? Why is it not safe for us to come out of the Janana as we are naturally weak?" He said, "Yes, it is not safe so as long as there are men about the streets, nor it is so when a wild animal enters a marketplace." He said, "Of course not. Suppose some lunatics escape from the asylum and begin to do all sorts of mischief to men, horses, and other creatures. In that case, what will your countrymen do? They will try to capture them and put it back to their asylum." "Thank you. And you do not think it is wise to keep sane people inside an asylum and let loose the insane?" "Of course not," I said. I laughed, laughing lightly. "As a matter of fact, in your country, this is the very thing it is done. Men who do or at least capable of doing no end to mischief are let loose, and the innocent women shut up in the zanana. How can you trust those untrained men out of doors? We have no hand or voice in the management of our social affairs. In India, man is the lord and master. He has taken to himself all powers and privileges and shut up the woman in the zanana. But do you allow yourself to be shut up? Because it cannot be helped as they are stronger than women. A lion is stronger than man, but it does not enable him to dominate the human race. You have neglected the duty you owe to yourselves, and you have lost your natural rights by shutting your eyes to your own interests." "But my dear sister Sarah, if we do everything by ourselves, what will the men do then?" They should not do anything else. Excuse me, they are fit for nothing. Only catch them and put them in the Senana. So this is still page 9. Exactly, are you able to follow what exactly it is?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to. So what this woman's doubt was, why all the men are roaming outside and why are we kept inside?
There's another thing. Something is happening in a dream. What you have to understand. I believe,
Okay, okay, sir.
as far as to the extent I have read,
Yes, sir.
I think there is something happening in a dream. Because she's saying about Parda, and then the other lady is
Yeah,
talking about your country and men. There it is not talked about anything about Islam and the Hinduism being, on the other side with a lot of
yes, sir.
liberty given to women.
Mm.
So
Yes, sir.
this is the
Yes,
context.
yes.
What I could understand. You have this book with you?
Yeah. Actually, I was searching for it, sir. So that's
Oh, you're searching. You should have told me. I will give you. Give me a second. I'll just give you in a second. Book one second.
sure, sir.
Where is it? You can also read. I believe that is better if you read also. Let me give me a second. I'll send it to you. నేను ఎక్కువ పేజీలు చదవలేదు ఓన్లీ ఫ్యూ పేజెస్ ఐ రెడ్ ఐఎమ్ ఫైండింగ్ ఇట్
Okay, sir.
ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్
I am also, sir. Actually, as I was trying to search for the book, I got lost in bits.
I just sent it to you. Check if you have received. It's uploading. 10 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay.
2 more seconds. Yes, it is done.
Yeah. Yeah, got it, sir. Right, sir. What's the page number, sir?
Page number. Let me give you 1 second. You have to search page number 23 in the PDF.
Okay, sir. Page number 20. Yeah.
You got it? Would you like to read it?
From where, sir? So from the beginning or?
No, from page number 23. I just told you.
Okay, page number 23 is
The PDF, but
page number 10 in the PDF, sir. Am I right, sir?
No. No. You search for page number 23 in the PDF.
Right. Okay. Got it, sir. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, sir. Got it. A note
Right.
on the text.
No, not that. But it would be very easy to catch them and put them inside 4 walls. Scroll 23 page, 6 are they? 23rd page. Scroll up the pages.
I'm on 23rd page only, sir.
స్క్రీన్ షాట్ కూడా ఉంది టీచర్ అలా అంటారని నాకు తెలుసు నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు యాక్చువల్లీ వాట్ యూఆర్ సేయింగ్
సార్ ఇది మీరు పంపించిన పీడిఎఫ్ ఉంది కదా సార్ ఆ పీడిఎఫ్ పేజ్లలో కింద నంబర్ 23 ఉంది ఆ నంబరా లేకపోతే
కాదు 23వ పేజ్ స్క్రోల్ చేస్తుంటే 23 పేజీలు రావాలి 22 పై 23వ పేజీలోకి వెళ్ళాలి
అది కూడా ఉంది సార్ అక్కడ బట్ వుడ్ ఇట్ బి వెరీ ఈజీ టు క్యాచ్ అదేనా సార్
రైట్
స్టార్టింగ్
యూఆర్ రైట్
అమ్మయ్యా కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయినా సార్
నైస్
ఓకే రైట్ సార్ yeah sorry guys all of you who are watching for my mistake I apologize okay so as it continues But would it be very easy to catch and put them inside the four walls? Said I. And even if they were done, and even if this were done, would all their business, political and commercial, also go with them into the zenana? Sister Sara made no reply. She only smiled sweetly. Perhaps she thought it was useless to argue with one who was no better than a frog in a well. By this time, we reached Sister Sara's house. It was situated in a beautiful heart-shaped garden. It was a bungalow with a corrugated iron roof. It was cooler and nicer than any of our rich buildings. I cannot describe how neat and nicely furnished and how tastefully decorated it was. We sat side by side. She brought out of the parlor a piece of embroidery work and began putting a fresh design. Do you know knitting and needlework? Yes, we have nothing else to do in our zenana, but we do not trust our zenana members with embroidery, she said laughing, as a man has not patience enough to pass thread through a needle hole even. Have you done all this work yourself? I asked her, pointing to various pieces of embroidered teapoy cloths. Yes. How can you find time to do all these? You have to do the office work as well, have you not? Yes, I do not stick to the laboratory all day long. I finish my work in 2 hours. In 2 hours? How do you manage? In our land, the officers, magistrates, for instance, work 7 hours daily. I have seen some of them doing their work. Do you think they work all the 7 hours? Certainly they do. No, dear Sultana, they do not. They dawdle away their time in smoking. Some smoke 2 or 3 choroots during the office time. They talk much about their work but do little. Suppose one choroot takes half an hour to burn off, and a man smokes 12 choroots daily. Then you see, he wastes 6 hours every day in sheer smoking. We talked on various subjects, and I learned that they were not subject to any kind of epidemic disease, nor did they suffer from mosquito bites as we do. I was very much astonished to hear that in Ladyland no one died in youth except by rare accident. Will you care to see our kitchen? She asked me. With pleasure, said I, and we went to see it. Of course, the men had been asked to clear off when I was going there. The kitchen was situated in a beautiful vegetable garden. Every creeper, every tomato plant was itself an ornament. I found no smoke nor any chimney either in the kitchen. It was clean and bright. The windows were decorated with flower garlands. There was no sign of coal or fire. How do you cook? I asked. With solar heat, she said, at the same time showing me the pipe through which passed the concentrated sunlight and heat. And she cooked something then and there to show me the process. How did you manage to gather and store up the sun heat? I asked her in amazement. Let me tell you a little of our past history then. 30 years ago, when our present queen was 13 years old, she inherited the throne. She was queen in name only. The prime minister was the prime minister ruling really the country. Our good queen liked science very much. She circulated an order that all the women in her country should be educated. Accordingly, a number of girls' schools were founded and supported by the government. Education was spread far and wide among women, and early marriage also was stopped. No woman was to be allowed to marry before she was 21. I must tell you that before this change, we had been kept in strict parda. How the tables are turned, I interposed with a laugh. But the seclusion is the same, she said. In a few years, we had separate universities where no men were admitted. In the capital, where our queen lives, there are two universities. One of these invented a wonderful balloon to which they attached a number of pipes. By means of this captive balloon, which they managed to keep afloat above the cloudland, they could draw as much water from the atmosphere as they pleased. As the water was incessantly being drawn by the university people, no cloud gathered, and the ingenious lady principal stopped rain and storms thereby. Really, now I understand why there is no mud here, said I, but I could not understand how it was possible to accumulate water in the pipes. She explained to me how it was done, but I was unable to understand her, as my scientific knowledge was very limited. However, she went on. When the other university came to know of this, they became exceedingly jealous and tried to do something more extraordinary still. They invented an instrument by which they could collect as much sun heat as they wanted, and they kept the heat stored up to be distributed among others as required. While the women were engaged in scientific researches, the men of this country were busy increasing their military power. When they came to know that the female universities were able to draw water from the atmosphere and collect heat from the sun, they only laughed at the members of the universities and called the whole thing a sentimental nightmare. Your achievements are very wonderful indeed, but tell me how you managed to put the men of your country into the zenana. Did you entrap them first? Oh, no, it is not likely that they would surrender their free and open air life of their own accord and confine themselves within the four walls of the zenana. They must have been overpowered. Yes, they have been. By whom? By some lady warriors, I suppose? No, not by arms. Yes, it cannot be so. Men's arms are stronger than women's. Then, by brain. Even their brains are bigger and heavier than women's, are they not? Yes, but what of that? An elephant also has got a bigger and heavier brain than a man has. Yet, man can enchain elephants and employ them according to his own wishes. Well said, but tell me, please, how it all actually happened. I am dying to know it. Women's brains are somewhat quicker than men's. 10 years ago, when the military officers called our scientific discoveries a sentimental nightmare, some of the young ladies wanted to say something in reply to those remarks. But both the lady principals restrained them and said they should reply not by word but by deed, if ever they got the opportunity. And they had not long to wait for that opportunity. How marvelous! I heartily clapped my hands. And now the proud gentlemen are dreaming sentimental dreams themselves. Soon afterward, certain persons came from a neighboring country and took shelter in ours. They were in trouble, having committed some political offense. The king, who cared more for power than for good government, asked our kind-hearted queen to hand them over to his officers. She refused, as it was against her principle to turn out refugees. For this refusal, the king declared war against our country. Our military officers sprang to their feet at once and marched out to meet the enemy. The enemy, however, was too strong for them. Our soldiers fought bravely, no doubt, but in spite of all their bravery, the foreign army advanced step by step to invade our country. Nearly all the men had gone out to fight. Even a boy of 16 was not left home. Most of our warriors were killed, the rest driven back, and the enemy came within 25 miles of the capital. A meeting of a number of wise ladies was held at the Queen's palace to advise as to what should be done to save the land. Some proposed to fight like soldiers. Others objected and said that women are not trained to fight with swords and guns, nor were they accustomed to fighting with any weapons. A third party regretfully remarked that they were hopelessly weak of body. If you cannot save your country for lack of physical strength, said the Queen, try to do so by brain power. There was a dead silence for a few minutes. Her Royal Highness said again, I must commit suicide if the land and my honor are lost. Then the lady principal of the second university, who had collected some heat, who had been silently thinking during the consultation, remarked that they were all but lost, and there was little hope left for them. There was, however, one plan that she would like to try, and this would be her first and last effort. If she failed in this, there would be nothing left but to commit suicide. All present solemnly vowed that they would never allow themselves to be enslaved, no matter what happened. The Queen thanked them heartily and asked the lady principal to try her plan. The lady principal rose again and said, Before we go out, the men must enter the zenanas. I make this prayer for the sake of Parda. Yes, of course, replied Her Royal Highness. On the following day, the Queen called upon all men to retire into zenanas for the sake of honor and liberty. Wounded and tired as they were, they took that order rather for a boon. They bowed low and entered the zenanas without uttering a single word of protest. They were sure that there was no hope for this country at all. Then the lady principal, with her 2,000 students, marched to the battlefield, and arriving there directed all the rays of the concentrated sunlight and heat toward the enemy. The heat and light were too much for them to bear. They all ran away, panic-stricken, not knowing in their bewilderment how to counteract that scorching heat. When they fled away, leaving their guns and other ammunitions of war, they were burned down by means of the same sun heat. Since then, no one had tried to invade our country anymore. And since then, your countrymen never tried to come out of the zenana? Yes, they wanted to be free. Some of the police commissioners and district magistrates sent word to the Queen to the effect that the military officers certainly deserved to be imprisoned for their failure. But they had never neglected their duty and therefore they should not be punished, and they prayed to be restored to their respective offices. Her Royal Highness sent them a circular letter intimating to them that if their services should ever be needed, they would be sent for, and that in the meanwhile they should remain where they were. Now that they are accustomed to the Parda system and have ceased to grumble at their seclusion, we call the system Mardana instead of Zenana. But how do you manage, I asked Sister Sara, to do without the police or magistrates in case of theft or murder? Since the Mardana system has been established, there has been no more crime or sin. Therefore, we do not require a policeman to find out a culprit, nor do we want a magistrate to try a criminal case. That is very good indeed. I suppose if there were any dishonest person, you could very easily chastise her, as you gained a decisive victory without shedding a single drop of blood. You could drive off crime and criminals too without much difficulty. Now, dear Sultana, will you sit here or come to my parlor? She asked me. Your kitchen is not inferior to a queen's boudoir. I replied with a pleasant smile. But we must leave it. But we must leave it now, for the gentlemen may be cursing me for keeping them away from their duties in the kitchen so long. We both laughed heartily. How my friends at home will be amused and amazed when I go back and tell them that in the far off Ladyland, ladies rule over the country and control all social matters, while gentlemen are kept in the mardanas to mind babies, to cook, and to do all sorts of domestic work. And that cooking is so easy a thing that it is simply a pleasure to cook. Yes, tell them about all that you see here. Sir.
విశ్వ గారు నమస్కారం అండి.
హలో సార్, విశ్వ సార్.
సార్ నమస్కారం. నమస్తే 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 లహరి గారు.
ఒక్కసారి మీ కామెంట్ ఏమిటో చెప్తాను. ఏమిటి ప్రమీలార్జునీయం అంటే?
ప్రమీలార్జునీయం అంటే దీనికి రిలేటెడ్ ఏమో అనిపిస్తుంది సార్. ప్రమీలార్జునీయం అంటే మన ప్రమీలార్జునీయం సినిమా కూడా ఉంది, మన బి సరోజాదేవి గారు.
మాహిష్మతి రాజ్యం సార్
అది ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ. సో
ఐ రిమెంబర్ దట్ మూవీ.
సూపర్ మూవీ,
సూపర్ డూపర్ మూవీ సార్.
అది ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ. ఎవరన్నా పట్టుకొని పిచ్చి పిచ్చిగా వాళ్ళకి అగేన్స్ట్ గా మాట్లాడుతుంటే వీడికి బుద్ధి శుద్ధి చేయండి అంటుంది ఆవిడ. అనగానే మొత్తం అంతా బ్రెయిన్ వాష్ చేసి తీసుకొస్తారు అనమాట వాడిని.
కరెక్ట్ సార్.
ఎనీవే,
సారీ సార్, యాక్చువల్లీ
ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయిపోయాను.
ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయిపోయాను సార్, భయంకరంగా.
కంటిన్యూ చేయండి సార్. సారీ, బ్రేక్ చేసి
హ్యూమర్ బేస్ ఉన్నాయి. సో దిస్ చాప్టర్ విల్ బి ఫినిష్డ్.
Yeah, to all the audience, I just said that I got lost ignoring Vishwa garu who was here, and kept on reading. That's what I said. So as it was, yes, tell them about all that you see here. Please let me know how you carry on land cultivation and how you plow the land and do other hard manual work. Our fields are tilled by means of electricity, which supplies motive power for other hard work as well, and we employ it for our aerial conveyances too. We have no railroad nor any paved streets here. Therefore, neither street nor railway accidents occur here, said I. Do not you ever suffer from want of rainwater? I asked. Never, since the water balloon has been set up. You see, the big balloon and pipes attached thereto. By their aid, we can draw as much rainwater as we require. Nor do we ever suffer from flood or thunderstorms. We are all very busy making nature yield as much as she can. We do not find time to quarrel with with one another, as we never sit idle. Our noble queen is exceedingly fond of botany. It is her ambition to convert the whole country into one grand garden. The idea is excellent. What is your chief food? Fruits. How do you keep your country cool in hot weather? We regard the rainfall in summer as a blessing from heaven. When the heat becomes unbearable, we sprinkle the ground with plentiful showers drawn from the artificial fountains. And in cold weather, we keep our rooms warm with some sun heat. She showed me her bathroom, the roof of which was removable. She could enjoy a shower or bath whenever she liked by simply removing the roof, which was like the lid of a box, and turning on the tap of the shower pipe. You are a lucky people, ejaculated I. You know, no want. What is your religion, may I ask? Our religion is based on love and truth. It is our religious duty to love one another and to be absolutely truthful. If any person lies, she or he is punished with death? No, not with death. We do not we do not take pleasure in killing a creature of God, especially a human being. The liar is asked to leave this land for good and never to come to it again. Is an offender never forgiven? Yes, if that person repents sincerely. Are you not allowed to see any man except your own relations? No one except sacred relations. Our circle of sacred relations is very limited. Even first cousins are not sacred, but ours is very large. A distant cousin is as sacred as a brother. That is very good. I see purity itself reigns over your land. I should like to see the good queen who is so sagacious and far-sighted and who has made all these rules. All right, said Sister Sara. Then she screwed a couple of seats onto a square piece of plank. To this plank, she attached two smooth and well-polished balls. When I asked her what the balls were for, she said they were hydrogen balloons and they were used to overcome the force of gravity. The balls were of different capacities to be used according to the different weights desired to be overcome. She then fastened to the air car two wing-like blades, which she said were worked by electricity. After we were comfortably seated, seated, she touched a knob and the blades began to whirl, moving faster and faster every moment. At first, we were raised to the height of about 6 or 7 feet, and then off we flew. And before I could realize that we had commenced moving, we reached the garden of the Queen. My friend lowered the air car by reversing the action of the machine, and when the car touched the ground, the machine was stopped and we got out. I had seen from the air car the Queen walking on a garden path with her little daughter, who was 4 years old, and her maids of honor. Hello, you here, cried the Queen, addressing Sister Sara. I was introduced to Her Royal Highness and was received by her cordially without any ceremony. I was very much delighted to make her acquaintance. In the course of the conversation I had with her, the Queen told me that she had no objection to permitting her subjects to trade with other countries. But, she continued, no trade was possible with countries where the women were kept in the zenanas and so unable to come and trade with us. Men, we find, are rather of lower morals, and so we do not like dealing with them. We do not covet other people's land. We do not fight for a piece of diamond, though it may be a thousandfold brighter than the Kohinoor. Nor do we grudge our ruler his peacock throne. Would we dive deep into the ocean of knowledge and try to find out the precious gems that nature has kept in store for us. We enjoy nature's gifts as much as we can. So the Kohinoor was called Mountain of Light, is the name of a large and exceptionally brilliant diamond in the possession of the Mughal rulers of India, currently part of the British Crown Jewels. To Indians, it is a symbol of great wealth. And the Peacock Throne is a famous jewel encrusted throne built for the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan also known for the Taj Mahal. It was carried away from Delhi by the Persian invader Nadir Shah. Its current location is the cause of much speculation. Many think that one of the thrones displayed in the Istanbul Museum is the peacock throne. It is a long-standing symbol of royal power and splendor to Indians. So coming back, after taking leave of the Queen, I visited the famous universities and was shown over was shown over some of their factories, laboratories, and observatories. After visiting the above places of interest, we got again into the air car, but as soon as it began moving, I somehow slipped down and the fall startled me out of my dream. And on opening my eyes, I found myself in my own bedroom, still lounging in the easy chair.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful
there ends the
section.
chapter, sir.
Wonderful reading. Really.
Thank you,
I
sir.
also enjoyed you reading it rather than I reading.
Thank you, sir.
Seriously, it's wonderful, wonderful. And in fact, so what could you understand by what is happening here?
I what can I say, sir? I am actually. It is like a dream for me also.
This
And
chapter itself is named as Sultana's dream.
yeah, Sultana's dream.
So the dream of a Bardhanashin woman is to have
Yes.
an other side, this thing and what on the male side happening
When
side,
did
male are put in.
when did
Ladyland.
when did
Sir,
Sultana became a representative of Indian womanhood?
it happened that way when this book was written.
Oh, so I so was this before the single malt or after the single malt?
No, this is just the beginning of single malt.
This is just the beginning of single malt. I
This
see.
is
I
this
see.
is where it began.
Ah, got it. Because I can see some shades, but not fully, not all of them yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So now the Janana became Mardana.
Mardana, right, sir?
Of course.
That is the utopia. That is the dream.
That is the dream. Wonderful,
And
sir.
they added the scientific temper, so called.
Yes.
Rationalist, you mean
Very important
rationality?
rationality, Maradi. That is the
Rationality.
introduction of scientific rationality, I believe. That is
Ah,
what they need to.
ah,
Scientific
so
rationale.
it is such a
Super,
blessing.
sir.
That's again, Vishagaru. You picked up the East book, I picked up an Ism book. That's the starting with
Uh,
feminism.
right. Yeah, we should definitely get to the bottom of these ideas, basically,
Sure,
because
sir. Sure, definitely.
the only way you can understand somebody is to know where they are coming from first.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sir, sir, I
See,
cannot promise you. I cannot promise you one thing, sir.
Mhm.
I might complete this book
Yeah,
before.
please go
we are
ahead.
going to
Please
complete
go
it. See,
ahead.
5 or 6 episodes. 5, 6 episodes.
Exactly. It's not that large. Actually, you should be able to do it
Yeah.
in one sitting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can, but let's do it in 3 or 4. We will have
Yeah, yeah,
time for a discussion also.
yeah. No. Reading will go slow, but you can read it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
No, if you have
No,
to
I
read
don't
it,
know
I'll read
where
it.
Lawyer Garu picked up this, but this is, I have never heard about this before. This is like,
Actually, sir, I am enjoying the excitement of Sultana
of
and
course.
all these wonderful things that
I
is
mean,
happening in her dream. And oh my
yeah.
God,
See, look, I don't support any of this Janana business and all that. It's not our culture even.
yeah,
No, it's not the
yeah,
Indian
yes, sir.
culture. So I'm on one hand, I'm very sympathetic. But what I do not
Yes,
agree with is his whole labeling this whole experience as Indian womanhood. Okay, so
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the only objection I have. But otherwise, hey, look,
They are talking about one particular culture which is foreign to the Indian subcontinent, and
exactly
they are labeling it it's Indian culture, and they are saying the exact opposite of Janana is Mardana,
correct,
which is not the word even in that language. It is not the right way to use the Mardana thing,
correct.
right? And then they say that you have to develop scientific temper. There exists a land in a dream
Yeah,
where everything in that utopia, everything is of scientific temper.
yeah, totally. Seriously,
And the other gender is put behind, treated the same way as these people were treated. It
correct.
seems
How is
so called.
exactly, and how is that equality? I don't understand.
I don't know. That is their
You
way.
know, sir,
Definition of equality.
Mm,
mm, I
So
I don't think it is equality. So it is more like a revenge sort of thing. It is.
exactly.
it is. It is.
Yeah, that's why the name of the book is apt. Feminism.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, feminist
Feminist
utopia.
utopia.
Feminist utopia. Exactly. Well, so much for so much for Sultana's dreams. Actually, when I was a kid, we used to have some family friends. Uh,
Mm.
they had two girls, much older to me, Sultana and Ruxana. Those are the names. And I always, and they used to talk differently, behave a little bit differently, and all that. But I never could understand because I was too small. Like I was in my like kindergarten or something. But I remember them very distinctly, and they were very different from my aunts and mom and uncles and everybody basically, right? Then much later I came to realize, oh, okay, they follow a slightly different culture. Yeah, they were very nice, so no complaints and all that. But just very, I was very curious even back in the day. It's like their language is different, they talk differently, they practices, everything is different.
Sir, more. I think every one of us experienced what you experienced, sir.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
just that
we all have.
yeah, we do not know unless they speak about what the oppression is and all that, right? So now, of course,
Yeah.
I know after growing up and watching much more, many more cultures and everything, there is a problem, obviously, right? And we are seeing it even today in Iran, basically. The whole hijab movement and everything. So, but
Iran is
again,
changing, sir.
Iran is changing huge. Iran is, I mean, there's so much change that we have stopped hearing much about it now because the there's just too much going on, basically, right? Eventually, it'll all come out. Somebody will write a book like
Yeah.
this or whatever, right? But yeah, I
So
disagree with this
one,
whole Indian womanhood business. Don't agree
yes,
with it
yes,
at all,
I do.
basically.
I do too. Sir, one
We need,
current affair update, sir,
yes,
about
yes,
Iran. There are about 75,000 mosques in Iran today, till date, and around almost 50,000 mosques are closed, right,
okay.
as of now,
Not functioning anymore, basically.
not
Okay.
functioning anymore because nobody is going there,
Yeah,
no prayers are being held.
yeah, no,
So Iran is changing internally, sir.
yeah, huge.
Yeah.
I mean, even before
Some of
even before the fall of Shah of Iran, Iran was a lot more progressive. After the Shah got
yeah,
thrown
yeah, sir.
over, and then the Ayatollahs
Khomeini.
took over, yeah, Khomeini took over and everything. The what they call as the Great Revolution or whatever it is, which is not a revolution, right? It's like going backwards, basically, right? So yeah, I mean, yeah, very interesting times. Yeah, we
Yeah.
need more women in the panel, Lawyer.
Sir, I have invited. The link is open. What more can I do?
So probably they are in their jananas.
No, no, no. They are not in the general. They are protesting by not coming. So no, next time we'll schedule the session much earlier, Largar, and then give them a chance.
Yeah,
Right. Sorry, all the ladies. I was just kidding.
Yeah. There are no more jananas. There are no jananas. There
There
are
are
no
no one.
nothing.
no, they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
voluntarily not come. I can't help it.
Exactly.
My link is open. Invitation is extended to everyone. At least
Everybody.
to
Yes.
I know.
Exactly. So, given that we are now living in the rational, scientific, enlightened period, you don't have to
Focus.
participate necessarily. If you miss the chance, you can put it in the comments. What your thoughts are.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall
Even
we close?
post live.
Yeah, exactly. Post live. That's what I meant.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall we close this session, sir?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Sure, sir. It was first thing first, sir. It was very wonderful to be in this panel and also reading the book along with you. And I thoroughly enjoyed, sir.
No, we will have few more sessions of the same
We'll
book,
have your
and more
That's
later.
yeah, sure, sir.
Devrata Bhishma Garu, you have come
I
in this
wish.
topic, but you are very late. You missed the fun as of now. But what you can do is you can just replay this session and watch it. Seems very interesting to us at least. Yeah, you have missed the live, but the recording is there, so you can listen to it later.
I wish I had such a dream, sir.
No, it's
You
okay.
will have more times.
You might. Who knows, right?
You might,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, viewers, so for with the first chapter of this book, we are closing this session. We'll have more sessions of the same book going forward. So for today, I wish to take your leave. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, everyone.